In the darkest days of World War II, London was shrouded in fear and smoke, its skyline scarred by the Blitz. The city's ancient buildings crumbled, but amid the rubble, a quiet revolution began. Not with weapons, but with seeds. The Dig for Victory campaign called on every citizen to turn any patch of earth into a vegetable garden. With food imports threatened by enemy attacks, Britain faced a dire food crisis. The government's answer: transform the nation into one vast farm. Lawns became potato patches, parks turned into vegetable mosaics, and even the Tower of London's moat grew leeks and onions. This was more than gardening. It was defiance, hope, and survival. Ordinary people, armed with spades and determination, learned forgotten skills and shared knowledge. Despite poor soil and unpredictable weather, they persisted, growing astonishing amounts of food. Victory gardens became a lifeline, supplementing rations and fueling the fight for freedom. The Green Army's efforts showed the world Britain's unbreakable spirit. Each green shoot was a promise. There would be a future beyond the war. The soil became their battlefield and their hope. Before the war, Britain relied on ships to bring food from across the globe. This abundance masked a vulnerability. The country grew enough food for just a couple of days each week. When war broke out, German U-boats targeted these supply lines, sinking hundreds of ships and threatening mass starvation. The government responded with strict rationing. Every family received a ration book, and diets became monotonous. Fresh produce was scarce, and the need to grow food at home became urgent. This crisis sparked a wave of ingenuity. Traditional farming methods weren't enough. People had to innovate, growing more food in less space and for longer seasons. Forgotten techniques resurfaced, turning ordinary citizens into resourceful gardeners. Intercropping, succession planting, and creative use of space became essential. The battle for food was as critical as any fought on land or sea. Through creativity and determination, Britain's gardens became its secret weapon. The soil itself became a source of resilience. In adversity, the nation found new ways to feed itself. Among the Victory gardener's best tools was the continuous cloche, a long glass tunnel protecting rows of young plants. Unlike single bell jars, these connected glass panes form portable greenhouses, trapping warmth and shielding seedlings from frost and rain. The cloche allowed gardeners to sow seeds weeks earlier, extending the growing season. With warmer soil, crops like lettuce and carrots sprouted ahead of schedule. As plants grew, the cloche could be moved to the next row, leapfrogging through the garden. This simple innovation doubled or even tripled the productivity of small plots. Early harvest meant more planting cycles: lettuce in spring, potatoes in summer, spinach in autumn. The continuous cloche turned every patch of earth into a powerhouse of food production. In a time of scarcity, it was a game-changer. Gardeners became masters of microclimates, coaxing abundance from the cold British soil. The cloche was a symbol of ingenuity, making the most of what little they had. Every pane of glass was a step toward victory. Another wartime innovation was the hotbed, a natural heated bed for early crops. The secret? Fresh horse manure, decomposing beneath a layer of soil, generated gentle warmth. Gardeners built wooden frames, filled them with manure, and topped them with soil and a glass cover. This self-heating greenhouse let them sow seeds for tomatoes and cucumbers as early as February. Even with snow outside, the hotbed's warmth nurtured tender plants. The method extended the growing season by months, making once exotic crops possible. For families starved of variety, a homegrown tomato was a small miracle. The hotbed turned waste into life, empowering gardeners to defy the British climate. It was resourcefulness at its best, using what was available to overcome nature's limits. The hotbed was more than a technique, it was hope, warmth and nourishment in a box. In wartime Britain, every degree of warmth counted. In crisis, every inch of soil mattered. Wide rows were a luxury. High-density planting became the norm. Intercropping, planting quick crops like radishes between slow growers like cabbages, meant 2 harvests from one space. Succession planting kept the soil busy. As soon as one crop was out, another went in. Gardeners planned meticulously, ensuring a steady supply from spring salads to winter cabbages. Block planting replaced long rows. Seeds were scattered in squares, creating a living canopy that shaded soil and suppressed weeds. This method conserved water, reduced weeding, and maximized yields. Intensive gardening demanded careful timing and record-keeping. The result: healthier plants, bigger harvests, and less wasted effort. Every patch of ground worked harder, feeding more people. High-density sowing was a revolution in efficiency. In wartime, it was the difference between hunger and hope. The garden became a model of productivity. After the war, Britain's shipping lanes reopened and rationing slowly ended. Supermarkets filled with exotic imports and the urgency to grow food at home faded. Allotments and backyard gardens were abandoned or paved over. The hard-won skills of wartime, hotbeds, cloches, high-density planting, were forgotten. Gardening shifted from necessity to hobby, focused on flowers, not food. The connection to the land weakened as convenience took over. The knowledge that once sustained a nation was set aside. The post-war generation embraced abundance, leaving hardship behind. The global food system seemed unbreakable, and self-reliance became a relic. The secret tactics of the 1940s faded into history. The soil's lessons were nearly lost. Today, as we face new uncertainties, the lessons of wartime gardening feel urgent again. Global disruptions and environmental concerns remind us how fragile our food systems are. The ingenuity of the Dig for Victory generation offers timeless solutions. Techniques like the cloche, hotbed, and high-density planting can help us grow more, waste less, and reconnect with the land. By reviving these skills, we reduce dependence on distant supply chains and foster resilience. Gardening becomes an act of hope and sustainability. Planting a seed is a vote for a better future. The legacy of wartime gardeners is more than clever tricks. It's a blueprint for self-reliance. In uncertain times, turning to the soil is a powerful response. By learning from the past, we cultivate resilience, community, and a deeper connection to our planet. The green revolution of yesterday holds the seeds for tomorrow's abundance.